Hello, everyone. Welcome to Love and Philosophy. I'm Andrea Hiott. This is Love and Philosophy Beyond Dichotomy, actually. And today it's just me talking to you a little bit about what this project has been and what it's becoming. So I started this at the end of 2023 as research, and I wasn't really planning much of anything, but it became a podcast. It emerged as a project with other people getting involved, and the through line has always been this one question, which I've had since I was a kid, really, or a teenager at least, which is, how do we find our way? And how does our way find us? How do we make our way, and how does our way make us is also interesting. I do use make on purpose in terms of waymaking, for those of you who know that, because of the care and the responsibility part. But the question really that's been leading me through all these different landscapes, philosophy, neuroscience, urban planning, heritage, ecology, biology, and what actually all goes into the navigability heuristic and the whole waymaking approach. The point of it all is that I think the most primordial, dare I say, crucial action of life is care and caring, which again is coming out of traditions. It's not anything I made up all on my own. It's just the way I'm framing this in case it's helpful. And it's not a fixed system, but all of that study has gone into this. And what is this? It's like a different angle or approach. It's just like picking up the lens and constellating it, as I like to say, making it into a constellation and reprioritizing some things and questioning some things. I'm just really sick of being stuck in this ontology, epistemology, axiology, as if these are all distinct categories, and I'm throwing it all up in the air with this approach. Although I'm not getting rid of any of the work that anyone's done, I'm just repositioning it, and I want to see what you think about that. So if you're in any of these fields, maybe you're going to find this a bit dissonant, but be patient, have a look at it. I'm reorienting, but I think it's making things much richer. And I'm going to show you some real examples of that this year. Maybe not in the podcast, because the podcast is more for the public, but I will be doing it. So be ready for that. Look forward if you're interested. If you're not, you just keep listening to the podcast here. But the whole idea here is that navigating, thinking, moving, mind, all of these kinds of words that we've thought of as separated, as on different sides of some kind of spectrum, I am putting on the same track, so to speak. Although it's not one track, it's kind of something like a kaleidoscopic, fractal, constellatory movement. But I promise it's going to be a little easier to understand than that. But it's also a little wild, so you should be ready. But what's the point of it all? And why do I talk about love? Why don't I just build a new philosophy? The point of it all is life is care and caring. And I think we've somehow not noticed that. We think it's competition. We think it's survival of the fittest. All of that. I mean, I am a big scholar of biology, and I love it all. I love Darwin. I love all of it. But I'm also a fan of Lynn Margulis and others, and I think there's an approach to understanding what we're doing here as being alive that we're missing, and it has to do with care. So that's why I'm talking about love. That's why I'm entering into all these rather difficult spaces where people, sometimes I talk to very different kinds of groups of ideas or whatever, because I'm trying to find that thread of care, which I know is in all of it. And I think I do find that. That's the heart of all of this, really. That's what I'm doing it for. That's what matters. It's not sentimental, but it's very sensual and very meaningful. And it's sentimental too, if you like sentiment. Those of you who listen, you know that I'm constantly questioning dichotomies, either or ways of thinking through twos where you have to put things in boxes. And I don't want to dissolve or resolve those, and I don't want to say they're wrong. I just want to open up and see what other points might be around it. Maybe it's not an either or. Maybe we can just discover something different in this landscape. And waymaking is a way of sort of moving through or around or with these seeming opposites without collapsing them and without trying to resolve them. Staying with what doesn't resolve, I guess, is a way to put it. That's why love is in the title. There's all kinds of traditions I'm blending in here with, like hippocampal research. And I know that's pretty weird, but I hope you feel the care in it, and that's the point. And I hope you help me bring that out, and I hope you bring people into my life that want to do that. So I just want to talk to people who are doing things that spread, give, help us better understand systems of care as living processes. So that's part of what this is. It's philosophy in that sense. It's something you do as a verb, something you give, something you are in your living. So there's a book coming out called Holding Paradox, which is a general story, kind of, which pulls this all together if you're interested in that. And I have a few more book projects that I'll tell you about later, but a lot of new cool stuff coming in the next couple of years, which I'm really thankful for. A lot of cool people. Also, just the philosophy itself. I want to put some of that out there in a more rigorous way, as I already said, and I'll be doing that. I think I'm going to do it by actually answering really particular philosophical questions around consciousness, representation, agency, what a self is, what a mind is, how do we build technology. A lot of you know that I'm really interested in how we build technology right now and how to shift that and what matters, and especially through care. So I'm going to actually just address very specific philosophical questions. And I know half the listeners love that and half of them don't want it. So I just have to figure out how to present that or where to share that where everyone can find it who wants to find it. But I am going to be doing that because I do have things to say about those questions now. I do want to actually be really rigorous about that and give that to you because some of you have asked. And that doesn't mean I have some answer or theory of everything. I don't think there is a theory of everything because we are part of everything and it changes as we change. So that is not the point. This is not some sort of answer. This is really, as I said, a way of like dancing into a different space and looking at this a bit differently and maybe getting us into a different sort of habit for how we think about these sorts of issues, out of the rut of the either or and more towards constellation thinking, kaleidoscopic thinking, those kind of words that I use a lot. Making way together. That's really making way together, understanding that living is caring. And we're going to have a new season starting tomorrow on March 17th with philosopher Janet Levine, and I love it, and I'm really happy that she's starting it off, and we have a great season. It's going to be one episode every month on the 17th, maybe a few extra in there, but definitely one every month on the 17th. We already pretty much have them ready, so that's great. Thanks for everyone with your patience, especially people I've had conversations with who waited for the new season before their episode comes out. Appreciate your patience. I'm just so glad you're all here. I just love this, and I hope I can give you something that helps you, gives you something. You certainly give me a lot, so thank you. And if you want to literally give like money or whatever, you can do that on the giving page. I think that's just going to be the way to do it. Just there's a giving page on the website. You can find the link. Just give whatever you want, anytime you want. You can also, of course, join the Substack or the YouTube. That's also very helpful. But whatever you want, you don't have to do anything. Do it because you want to do it and because you care. Because I want all that energy coming from a place of love and care. What else should I say before I go with this ramble? I should say, sometimes this has been really hard, and I don't want you to get the impression that life is just always love and wonderful for me. I am actually very lucky, and I do love life, and I have a good life, and I'm super thankful, but I just want you all to know that life is not always easy. These tensions I'm talking about are real. Having to negotiate all these different work situations and different sorts of expectations and groups of people who have very different ideas about who I should or shouldn't talk to and things like this. And also just being a little bit naive in terms of I don't know all the dynamics of all these social groups, and I'm just trying to go at it with care. So just know I'm trying to do this from care and out of real respect and love for all of your work. And I'm just really glad you're all here, and I'm open to learning from you. And thanks a lot. Also, I'm going to put in the notes just like a little summary, as general as I could possibly make it, of the kind of main ideas of the last 2 years of podcasts as they relate to Waymaking. So for those of you who want a little bit more structure than my just rambling here, you can look in the show notes and find that little document. All right, here we go. Ready to start the season? Coming tomorrow. Sending you all lots of whatever you want today. Just like I want to send that to you. So think of what you care about, what matters, really matters, like to you, without comparison, without you comparing yourself to anyone, just what matters to you. And that's what I wish for you today. All right, bye.